what's behind the anger, right? There's a whole bunch of things that happen before anybody calls us, and really thousands of people call us. We've been doing this for 28 years. And the blow up that happened, that was in the moment. And if we go back in time a little bit, there's some short term history and then there's long term history, right? But we'll start with current events and what's happening in your body. The more aware you are of this stuff, what happens in your body and your brain, the more it's like data that you have, and you want to be aware of this stuff, like the constriction in the chest, right? Usually that's connected with fear. There's usually a whole series of other emotions behind the anger. And that's a constriction, a tightening. Sometimes there's pressure. Feels like it affects your breathing because it does. And a little bit, well, a little bit. Also, there is the heart. Often the heart has an impact. We're often disconnected from the heart when we react, but there's pain before that. And this emotional pain shows up in exactly the same spot in your brain as physical pain. So it's like the body can't tell the difference. It reacts the same way, pulling us into fight or flight. So there's shame, then there's anxiety, a little lower down here in the belly. Often the anger is in the, in the jaw. Sometimes we feel it in the forehead, the temples. This is overwhelmed. This is your body, like literally the blood vessels are constricting to the higher reasoning part of the brain. And then the brain goes into this all or nothing. We disconnect from the higher reasoning part of the brain, and this ancient part of the brain is all or nothing, super dramatic. And it's just the blinders are on. So that's all current. You want to know this stuff in yourself. Then we go back a bit. We weren't sleeping well. We were drinking too much coffee or too much alcohol. And our life wasn't going well. We weren't inspired every day when we were waking up. We were exhausted. And this had gone on for months. And then if we go way back, as a little kid, people crossed our boundaries, people mistreated us. And in the moment right now, before we blew up, somebody pushed that button and it was like you went into a full on temper tantrum. The more we escalate into fight or flight, the more our emotional maturity level drops, like down to 2 years old or 4 years old or 6 years old. And we lose it and we act like a big baby in the moment because we don't have the capacity for anything else.